got one today, had to go out and get me some lunch, man. And that's how it is, run up, run around. Got a 70-degree day. We'll ride with my bros. We went up to East Chicago, McHenry, and Stockton. So that was really cool. But always cool to be able to get you some flight time on the rocket, man. So that's what it is. Yeah, but I went out, had a really good time. We got super stuff, went up there, and they had a old pizzeria up there, right? So that was really cool. That was really cool. But I went up there and had a good time, had some food with my dudes, and that's how I do it. But yeah, getting kind of a few different mods on the Harlow. Pretty good. I want to put a center stand on that, so that's turning out to be really interesting because there's some of the stuff it does I still gotta like adjust it, but overall you talk about, you know, setups that work. It's about a good fit for me, if I say that. Not only a good fit, but it's just what makes it better. Now the stand I got on there, it's not bad. I see why they do it like that. I really do believe that stand is the stand for the bike, because the weight limit and how it just distributes everything in the right place with the wind and just any kind of problems. But pretty good stand. It's got like little pads on the bottom, and the pads is the pads are kind of like not really strange, but the pads you gotta adjust the pads, right? So when you put the pads on, they sit down and they got angles on them. And I'm thinking, well, I like this. So you get up, you shift back, and then you get up on it. But I don't like all that. Like literally, you gotta like dig in the freaking ground. Like where it's gotta be cement, but you gotta dig in the ground, and it's a little more than what I want. Like my main issue with the stand was just basically easing the pressure, right? You're talking about a 1,000-pound bike, big time bike. I love the bike, super fun, super fast, super badass, but you know, you just gotta manage the weight. You know, my thing is since I had the injury, is trying to get it set up to where it works. It'll be good for you, you know, overall. So overall, like I said, I really like it. I've grown to love my Harley Davidson. He's a go-to right now. Badass, man. Got that CFR exhaust on it, and that boy be bumping, man. He be sounding good. So it's just like I say again with the stand, is it's just adjusting a little bit. It's got like lock nut washers on there. But actually, I might have to take the washers itself. I don't know, take the washers in the stand and just take the stand out, because it's not really giving me that lift. Like if you got to run up under it, and no, you're not running up under it. You ain't just, you know, like a little. It's just way too much, man. So we'll see. Still in debate with that. And then I got a new filter for that. So I've been kind of waiting, but he's been holding real steady, man. I think it's a good bike. Before I bought the bike, I was under debate. I had questions. My mechanic telling me, well, Elliot, you want to do this? You know, you want to kind of be, you know, thoughtful about the miles that you got, and you know, what is it doing? Why? You know, what, when, where, and why? You know, I think I got a pretty good bike. I had really good miles on it. Some questions about the cam shoes, and you know, it's making some. You know, the Harley is kind of something. You hear a sound like it's doing it. That's all traditional Harley. So what you think is cosmetic is that's a hog saying he breathing, you know. But over than that, I think he's fanning out. I gave him about, he ran about 200 miles on the highway. I'm trying, we opened him up. So pretty good bike. I always said, I was talking to another guy, he says how he likes to ride. Now, where I ride and when somebody else is ride, there's two different things, you know. Can't order. The guy said he's finna get down. If you finna get down, you finna get down, but I get down on this bike. I don't want to say I wasn't, but the way I pushed the metal to the pedal, I don't want to say I was embarrassed, but this is like apples and oranges. This is a rocket ship compared to that. That's like a little mini bike. We're talking speed in terms of the engine disposition, but big bike, big motor, fast. Just learning some stuff to it. I think I got a few questions on the throttle release. Seems like all the bikes I get, they usually have well, this one has rider modes. It has 3 different levels. It has slow, it has fast, and it has fast, super fast. So with this one, like the throttle on it's kind of got a little play on it to where it's not that bad, but it, you know, you could tell it you just could tell it might need to be adjusted. It could possibly be me. I was told that it had got some tuning in it. So I mean, probably just look at all my paperwork, all my purchase work on it, see where it's at, and just kind of see what I'm working with. So when I take it in, I'll probably have them tune it, or little different questions. So you got to do a little work to it. But overall, I'm excited about him. He's a really good bike, super big, badass bike, man, fast. So since I changed the tire, that's the difference. I thought I was gonna have issues with, with the tire, the smaller tire, bigger tire. The bigger tire, that bike, it holds up. I think it's a bigger tire bike. Like, that's a 21, but I'm thinking like 21s, 23s. The bike is just, he's like, he digs in, man. He'll just pull, man. You don't have no problem with him, man. He just straight up, and it seems like it's more planted, right? So, like I say, when I do my bikes, I put them on the road. I do a test on them, 200 miles or whatever it is going to be, and then I, go from there, in terms of, what the bike is, what it's capable of, what it's doing. But other than that, like I say, it's been holding pretty good. We took off. We was just gonna go to McHenry, and that was a really good run. That was about, of course, that's running on 20, going like the I-90 route, where you're going in, where you're getting a lot of that hectic crowd, man. Where I tell anybody, if they're a bike rider, if they can really ride bikes, it's bad to say you have to do this. Like, if you can really buy the bike, and you saw a lot of other stuff you can look with, you got to be able to actually ride on the highway. When I gauge anybody, if he can run a bike, if he ain't scared of his bike, I can tell you what kind of rider he is. Now, he could be new to a bike, but when I see him on the highway, then I can tell you what kind of rider he is, period. It ain't no in between. But we had a bunch of big bikes on the highway. I think we ran like 7 deep, 10 deep, and it was really fun. It was really fun. It was interesting. Like I said, I had no issues. I had no issues with the tire itself, changing that from the 17, but it was more about, just feeling it. You get used to that, to something like this. I usually listen to my bike. You start to question, why is it rattling? And Harley, he just be breathing, man. He be sucking in air. Sometimes you get a fart, and then you think it's ticking, and that's all he doing, man. He just being a big boy, man. That's how he do. But I'm getting him down. I think he's a super badass bike. He can handle some miles. Like I said, I got about 200 plus miles on him, man. And he be getting at it, man. And like I say, with the tire, I thought the tire was gonna get issues because of just the dynamics of it. I'm having kind of 2-part issues with the center stand, and I'm gonna probably get another tool. I'm getting another a shock adjuster. Now, this is a different tool than the actual PSI pump, but some of the stuff, like, I never put actually air in the shock like that on the Harley. So I was talking to my bros, and they just giving me in and out, and they was telling me, they was saying air pressure. I'm like, air pressure? And I know they had that little knob on there, air pressure, but you know, that was just up for debate and question. But I gotta get that, and then I think that's affecting actually the way that that lift on the stand is working. So I gotta just, I'm fine tuning, but I just, I'm not buffooning, but I'm fine tuning. So we'll get it together. And then I almost got it together. I'm just taking everything slow. Hell, I don't even ride this one that much. I still love both of my bikes. Harley, he kind of took first place. He's my go-to dude. So, but I still love this one too. But I tell you the difference. The guy we were having debate. We were having questions, right? He's like, well, what would you pick? What would you do? You know, me getting older, 55, man, I like comfortability. It's about the overall, right? I don't want to get myself in a situation where, you know, a guy says, well, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You know, are you ruining your body, or are you, you know, getting the best setup that's better for you? And that's really what I want to do. But I like doing it all. But I will say, he a bigger bike. He's more comfortable. I don't really think I'm a fast riding guy. I'm a medium to fast guy, man. But I like both. Hell, I like all three. I'm super country. I'm super outdoors. I like. I said this time and time again. I like the outfield, man. Like, you give me a trail or something, man. I don't know what it is. I think it's in my DNA or something. But I'm super freaking country. I love trails. Hell, I love my Harley. I love my sport bike. So I think it just I like motorcycles, huh? Yeah, but we went out. We had a really good time. I always have good with my bros. I rode up there with S-Win brothers. They're a really good, cool motorcycle group. I've always liked them. Am I getting ready to another group? Maybe, could be. I like guys that laid back. I would tell another one of my Harley bros. I said, well, I don't even really, well, you gotta communicate. It's about the brotherhood, but I don't really have to be friends. You know, we meet up the way we meet up. We take rides. We go get something to eat. Hi, bye, and that's really it. You know, you just have so many groups that have controversies, and you know, this guy, he didn't like you because of this, and you're married, he's married, and he's got to, you know, fill you out. You don't gotta fill me out. We just gotta do miles, bro. That's it. You know, put the little vest on there, but then you got yourself, is that worth it? You know, is it worth it? Shit, I got my little crazy wife. That's enough for me. I think I've been through enough in this life, man. Dealing with a bunch of personalities, but yeah, you know, I love my little vest. I'm not in no MC, but you talk about esteem and what makes you feel good. Shit, I put my vest on, man. I'm always swag and look cool. So you know, that's what it's all about, being seen. We're getting with a bunch of guys, man, that, you know, they might be cool, but they want to be mean. You know, that might not be with me, man. But you know, but I think they're real cool dudes, man. Laid back, OG kind of dudes. They know how to carry themselves. Of course, most of them older than married. That's the same little thing. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? See, what do you mean by that? Well, I had a guy, and I don't want to call names. You know, you could be a prospect or something, right? You know, you're trying out for a team or something. You know, can you fit in? You know, are you cool enough? Do you have the swag, or you gonna come in last? Well, you know, the guy, he says he thinks his club is everything. I think it's cool. I like everybody. I think it's cool. It's a cool club or whatever. But you know, you just gotta go through all this extra stuff. You know, like, and it's hurt me. I'm just gonna be transparent and honest. Most women, they do all that gossiping and all that BS. Like, bro, let's just ride, man. You know, and then you try to control people and. You know how personality? I just want to ride some miles. That's all, bro. For 30 years, I think I'm cool. But, you know, all that weirdo shit. But I like it. But, yeah, coming off a bad butt trip, man, we got out there, boy. Ooh, had a good time, man. I always like doing 20 Chicago or like McHenry or going around that Chicago inner loop or something that damn right. Ooh, yeah, those people out there, they don't be playing, man. If you're a real rider, whatever you're doing, you rocking and rolling, baby, that's what you do. But that's where they at out there. Now, if you can ride the bike, you can ride 120 out there going Chicago East. But we had a good time. They had a I love Harley Davidson, because they always had like those little they have those, well, they just have like little meetings and little like events and stuff. Like you buy food, and I got me some cool shirts up there, so it was really good. I enjoyed it, man. Went up there, and I'm thinking maybe like Paris, man. I got on there because I'm always used to being the fastest, right? And my guy, I think he got 107. They had a few 117s. And it's really about the engine displacement when you get into actually riding the bike. You know, you go to getting that smaller stuff, the slow stuff, man. You're gonna want to have to beef it up. But they had a special going on up there. They had some CVOs, some robots and stuff, and I like the CVOs. They're really good. Of course, those are limited. They got all the heated grips. You got the seat, all that. So it's a pretty good bike, man. That's a bad bike, man. It's pretty. It's a good bike, man. But I can see myself. I got my bike. I can see myself trading it in for like a road glide or first that street glide CVO or something like that, man. That'd be me. Got all the lights and all that stuff. So. But out today, give me a little airtime, not too fast. Hell, I don't even ride that much no more. I'm like I was saying the other day, I'm a onesie twosie. You know. I'm thinking the Harley, he gonna be more of a, well, he's a tour bike. He gonna be more of a group bike than I had this one. Of course, I have both two different helmets. So this one right here, honestly, I had stripped the other one down when I got the Mazda helmet, and I just took everything off and put it on. I took off on this one and took it off over there, right? I didn't plan on getting rid of this one, but I said, well, once I get my Harley, I would just have a bike for each helmet, and that's how I got it set up. But the way I got it now is I don't really like doing all that, like, you know, setting all that up. I'm really loving my new camera, my X4. That's another review. That's bad, but love that camera. But with the helmet, you got the speakers and all that. You got the speakers, and it's you got the speakers, you got the Bluetooth. It's got, each helmet has a setup, you know. And this Bluetooth is kind of different because the charging system is different. It's not the same. It's like it's you gotta actually just put the helmet by the charger instead of actually letting it charge up. So not like the other one. On the other helmet, you have to pop it out of there and then you plug it up. I think that's more convenient, but it's still up for debate. You know, like which one do I like more? I think they got good sounds, but the main issue was I just wanted to set it up to whereas, you know, I'm just real functional. Like if I'm on my Harley, or, you know, I got a setup for each bike. I don't have to, you know, be stripping the mounts, like the GoPro mounts, and stripping the mounts and all that stuff off. You just take the helmet that's for that bike, you know, and then that's a good deal. But I think it works out. It's a pretty good deal, man, you know. It's a pretty robber. It's a pretty good deal. So, but other than that, been doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm thinking like with the new, I got a new filter coming for Harley. That's going to be a better setup because it's just going to be better tuned. It's going to be smelling better air, and I think it's going to be a lot better. I had put talk about air filters. I put an air filter on Sport Quad, And that bike went from like going like that to freaking flying, man. It would just pick up, pick up, pick up. And it's just like it was just breathing. But and then I did a few other. I changed the tire and then the extensions on it. So it was, I think it was more adapted. It was set up to run better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's something I'm looking forward to that. But you know, beyond that, you know. So that's a real cool cruise today. Not really too fast. This is honestly how I ride. You know, guys are like, why are you riding slow? Because that's really how I ride. I ride okay, but I don't ride like, you know, I ride okay, but I'm not like a like this bike will go 205, but I don't ride 205. Like I might ride 105, and that's at the high end. That's when I want to, but I pretty much like to self-preserve my bikes. I think I'm an advanced rider. I think I'm a fast rider, but I don't, like I say again, it's just not something that I have to do to make my ride. You know, I don't have to do that, but it's up for debate. It's up for debate. Today, this is my favorite run. I usually do my loop, whether I'm on the high or the cow. It's always a pleasure, man. I gas up, I go around, man, and I have a good day. You gotta watch these people out here. They dangerous, man. I've seen some stuff, and when I had the accident, you know, you gotta respect it. That's one thing I do. I respect vehicles and cars, but it's something about adrenaline. Like when you try to challenge them, oh hell, they go into like kill mode or something. But pretty much, basically, you just ride your ride. You know, just ride a legal ride. You don't try. You usually don't have problems, but well, I tell you, I've seen about everything. There's a lot of things you got to do to keep it fair, you know, but I slowed down tremendously because just to how I used to think. I think I might even have like a little lightweight PTSD because of all the stuff that people be trying to do, you know. I'm like, well, I don't even bother nobody. And why would you keep doing some shit like that? Like, you know, and I think it's just an aggravation when people, I know it for a fact, I got a lot of preconceptions. I mean, just all the way programmed up to who I am. But I know the Lord, I'm pretty cool with that, but yeah, man, it's always something. It's always something. Always something. Y'all like my Hemi, my 392. But he a growler, man. He be pulling, man. And I did a lot to him. I got the exhaust on him, and that's a Daytona right there. But super bad boulevard car, man. Super fast, super fun. Seemed like when I got the new motor in him, he just wanted to act up, man. He turned into a classic Hemi then, cause he just would, he would spin before the motor started doing stuff, but he just, oh wow, he was like a little monster. I mean, it's got a few different little zones on, like little modes on it, and wow, I was like, wow, nice little car. But that's another review. We'll be probably riding that, doing some miles on that one. I was gonna get the back window spoot on there, and I got so much stuff going on, man. Trying to do my house. I only got so much resources, man. So I just thank the Lord. Just kind of, do what I have to do, and just kind of don't do too much at a time, cause doing too many setups for me, that's like burnout. You burn out, or you don't do exactly what you're supposed to do, or you're supposed to do that, then you forgot to do that, So, but yeah, he's been running pretty good. I was gonna put another hood on him, and just always got to do something. You're trying to do something right. You got to do this, you got to do that, and like, what are you doing? You did that, but you didn't finish that. You didn't, and everything costs money. So I think it's about, when you got something, be thankful for what you got, and you'll be all right. See, just be thankful. See, I remember when I had the accident, I had the leg, and I had all those surgeries, and the guy said, well, you could, your leg you could do this. He'd give me all the hypotheticals, and I was saying, hell, I could probably have lost my damn foot, and sitting up complaining about something. So I thank the Lord about that, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. But it's turning out all right. Still kind of different, different little things you go through, Of course, I'm getting old too. I know that was the reason for me basically getting a Harley, so I don't have to actually worry about all the back bending, and like this right here, this stuff is strenuous over time. Like pinching that back nerve, and just keeping your body at 90 degrees. I think it's about 60 degrees, Today, let's say 68, 69. So yeah, I was thinking maybe soon I'm gonna have to change the brakes on that one. So that's kind of my high-end debate, whether or not those hold. But I'm thinking they'll hold. I'm thinking they'll hold. probably about May or June, I'll probably be changing the brakes on the Harley. But it seems like those pads, this, you know, when you think about it, a bike that big, you know, all the foot pressure and you know, G-force, the stopping pressure, that's probably a lot more. I know it's a lot more than this one. But I said I would actually probably change them over. It seemed like they weren't that bad, but it was kind of thin. I just kind of thin. Kind of thin, but I just change them over, put the other one on there, and I'll be good. Yeah. Kind of windy. I think we were running like around about 20. About, I think a little bit over 20, about 20 something, man, at that. But I don't like wind, and I think wind is just a factor. Like, you got to just deal with that, because I went to Freeport, and that was a nice trip. It was real sunny. It wasn't even as hot, but like it's just the wind. Like, there's just too much wind, you know. It's just too much wind, you know. It's too much wind. But we went out there, that was moving, boy. Yeah, too much wind. Too much. And you know, it's different. Like, I remember last year I went to Wisconsin, and that was a pretty good run. It seemed like the weather, the sun's be good, but if that gust is going, it's like it's freaking cold. Like, you can't even compare that to anything, you know. But I was on this bike at the time, and this is a good bike to ride. Like, it'll push through if you got moderate wind. Like, that's the thing. You be cold, but if you got that wind, all right. So I think the wind, it must have been I'm not kidding you. And when I think about it, I think they had like a tornado or something, but the wind was like the wind was it must have been like 30-something degrees. It was literally that bad. It could have been over. It was really windy up there, and I couldn't manage it. So I wound up just going like that. Hey, fucked up, man. It's fucked up, baby. Yeah. Your shit start hurting now. Your back start going out.